Welcome to the Real Room, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, John Hinton, and you are in a real place for real people to have real conversation, where we try our best to be relational, educational, authentic, and loving. Yo, shout out to everyone who is watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcast. However you consume your content, thank you for stepping in the real room today. Yo, what is up, everyone? What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? I missed y'all. Every single week I miss y'all. I know it's only been 6 days. That's what you said the last time, John. But listen, I miss you. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I miss you. I love spending time with you. Like, if y'all haven't realized yet, I am a social butterfly. And your boy likes to spend time with people, whether that be in person or like what we're doing right now. I love to spend time with you guys. And I'm glad that you guys stepped in the real room today because I'm ready to get real. I'm ready to get real. I mean, I feel like it's just a weird concept too when it's like this whole like real recognize real. Like, we live in the real room. And I get all giddy and I get all excited when someone steps in, whether that be from a conversation that I'm having with somebody in person or at church, or like, it's like this little secret that's not a secret, where we are going from real moment to real moment with the people who are completely comfortable with getting relational, educational, authentic, and loving. Like, if you're down with them 4 things, you real. And if you tuned in today, whether you are subscribed or not, because I'm not somebody who sits there and tells you like and subscribe, leave a comment, push our content. Like, I'm not out here trying to get like free promotion. That's not me. But yo, if you stepped in the real room today, whether you're a subscriber or not, whether this is your first time, whether you are a frequent flyer or this is your first time stepping in the real room, first off, welcome. And then second off, you're a real one. Like, you're a real one. I don't know how else to tell you this, but bro, you're a real one. Sister, you're a real one. Whoever you are, whatever age you are, thank you for stepping in the real room and getting real with us. I'm so excited for today. Your boy is still a little under the weather. I think I'm on the tail end of it though. It was unfortunate that throughout the week of me just being sick, my wife ended up getting sick. So pray for Pauline. Keep her in your prayers for real. She I think she's like worse than me when we get sick, honestly. It's something with the cute ones, I guess. I don't know. Like, she's cute, she's small, she's adorable, but yet she can pack a lot of emotion and a lot of attitude. And just, you look at her and it's like, I don't want you to feel bad. Not just because it's going to be like hell for me for a little bit, but it's just like, she's cute and adorable. And I don't like it when she gets sick. So I'm thinking that's kind of my fault. So yeah, pray for her, please. Pray for her. The Hinton household needs prayers because weather's getting nice out, but we're somehow under the weather. And that's just, that's not fun. It's not fun when that weather starts getting good, but you don't feel good. I'm sure y'all can relate. So yeah, your boy's getting a little better. I'm on the tail end of this whole the thickness. And I'm feeling better. I mean, my voice is still kind of meh, goes in and out with the phlegm. But please have some grace for me if I'm like clearing my throat or whatever. I'll try to like move the mic. I don't want that to be in your ear for all my audio listeners. Cause yo, can we just talk about it? Like, we have God's created. He's helped us to create this little platform and this little community where, whether you are on TikTok, whether you are on YouTube, or whether you are on Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, a dozen of our other audio platforms. If you're listening to us on Buzzsprout, yo, shout out to you real quick, because my audio listeners, like not to like take attention away from the people who are literally looking at me right now. But my audio listeners, yo, love you guys to death. You guys be downloading them episodes. Y'all be listening to it weekly, and y'all are real. Like, y'all straight up, y'all are some real ones. Y'all show up. And it's just so funny that like last week was our episode on what it means to show up and how we should show up regardless how we feel. And regardless what's going through or what we're going through in our lives, yo, you guys show up every single week and y'all be downloading those episodes. Y'all done blessed my whole soul. So I just wanted to give y'all a shout out. Yo, y'all are real. And I wanted to give you a real moment because I love you. I love you. And I'm so thankful for you guys who show up. Yeah, so today, I think this might be a whole nother vibe. God's doing something weird with this second season. He's showing me I gotta rely on him, and through my schedule, just having different things to do, pulling me in different directions, getting super busy and stuff like that. Like I'm like sitting here like, God, I got a list of people who I'm like just waiting to get in the real room, who I know has a story to tell and I know could impact and encourage and motivate some people's lives. Um, but for some reason, he's having me in here like just solo dolos. And I try my best not to watch it all that much. But yo, them solo dolos don't really get like a lot of views, but the views that they do get, I'm loving it because I know that each and every single one of those views is a person, and that's a person who is being impacted and being touched by our content. So I don't know. I'm not making these for numbers too. So that's another encouraging thing. Like I'm out here just trying to obey God, trying to live my life, use these gifts and these talents to serve him and serve you guys. So I don't know what he's got in store for this second season other than it's super exciting. It's super exciting to watch things grow and to watch how people react to the content and to the platform, and just getting to make new connections and uh, just networking so much fun because as I am doing solo dolo episodes and waiting for like the thumbs up from God, if you will, give me that green light, God, um, to bring on more guests, which we will. We will definitely have more guests. Don't fret. But while I'm waiting, I'm just enjoying the season that he's got me in. I really do. We're getting to watch this platform grow, and that's exciting. We have a merch store. For y'all who don't know, yo, we got a merch store. Like, click the drop down menu in the description. Click that link that says merch, or the LinkedIn link that sends you to all the platforms so you can get anywhere you need to get. And click our merch store. Check out our merch. We don't even make that much on the merch. I literally just picked out certain brands that I know are comfortable and good quality t-shirts and sweaters and things I believe you guys would like. And there's a little something on there for everybody. In fact, I think I'm going to design a t-shirt specifically just to be the cheapest t-shirt that we don't make nothing off of, but you just want to promote the real room, or you just want to show people like, hey, yo, I'm a real one. I'm gonna make a t-shirt for y'all. Yeah, I just decided that. Pray about it. I will pray about it, but I'm sure God will be okay with me blessing people and not making any money. I am here to be a blessing. So yeah, just decided that's gonna be a thing. But yeah, check out our merch store. Come support the Real Room. Help us to continue doing what we do. All the stuff costs money, and all the things that we are trying to plan for the future cost money. So that would be great if you wanted to help us, pour into us, bless us in any way. Thank you. But above that, please pray. Please pray that we continue to go in the right direction, because as we continue on this road, as we continue in this endeavor and continue stepping in the real room and doing all of this, we want to make sure that we are always sensitive to God's Spirit and what He wants us to do, and taking the steps necessary to continue doing that. And please pray for us. That's one of the best ways that you could ever bless us. I will take a spiritual blessing anytime over a monetary or a physical blessing, because that's where my heart is. My heart's for the kingdom. And we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for God and for people. So, what is up, guys? Now that we got all that out the way, I got to do that house cleaning. I got to make sure, get all the announcements out so everybody knows, and we can just jump right into it. So last week we talked a little bit about like showing up, what it means to show up, what it looks like sometimes, how hard it can be, but no matter what it looks like, what we look like, what we're going through, it's no matter what it entails, we have to show up. And we talked a little bit about how difficult that can be, but we should still show up, because ultimately the best way that somebody ever showed up for somebody was Jesus. And I don't know what I would do if Jesus never showed up. Now, this week is a little different. I wanted to talk about something that I believe each and every single one of us can relate to. And that is the fact that we can all become discouraged. Discouragement is a real thing. And I wanted to talk about discouragement. And I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to hesitate, guys. I'm just going to jump right into it. Like, I got some notes here. God gave me some things that I had to write down and make sure that I got out. That's not going to stop me from like deviating and going off on nice little righteous rabbit trails. But we're just going to start off with like asking the question, what is discouragement? Like, where does it come from? Like, think about your own life. Think about the things that you're going through. What's discouraging you? And where is it coming from? Now, a lot of times in the church or with Christians or followers of Jesus, anybody who is spiritually connected, we a lot of times would like to blame shift or just kind of pass the buck, if you will. And we'd like to just blame the devil and just say that discouragement comes from the devil. It's an attack from the devil. And I'm not saying that it's not at all. But what I'd like to do in this is not just put all of our focus there, but let's actually think a little bit more logically. Let's not pass the blame and just go straight into prayer. And just like, no, because like God's trying to help us grow. God's trying to help us understand Him, ourselves, and all the situations that we go through in life, so that we can continue growing. And discouragement is one of those things that I believe, whether it's an attack from the enemy or whether it is rooted in the situations of life, I believe God wants to use something like discouragement to help us grow. So I think discouragement oftentimes comes from a place where you had expectations of yourself or others that were not met. You had these expectations of maybe your spouse, and they didn't meet it. You had these expectations of your kids and they let you down. Or maybe you had these expectations of a certain outcome of a certain situation, and the outcome wasn't what you wanted, or it wasn't what you intended, and you become discouraged. Listen, I can just help you out real quick. Okay. Discouragement. All right. I'm gonna help y'all out real quick. People, when it comes to people are going to fail you, and you are going to fail people. We are all living in a broken world, and everyone in this world is just broken, guys. Like, we're all broken people. We're all living in a broken world. God's original intent was altered due to sin, and now we are all just trying to manage the mess. So, as we all are just trying to manage the mess, sometimes the most difficult part of that can be to manage our emotions as we fail and others fail us. Okay, can I be honest with y'all? I'm just going to be honest with y'all. People are amazing. You're amazing. I believe I have the potential to be amazing. Okay, people are amazing. They're made in God's image. I believe they're made in God's image. I believe they can be helpful. I believe that they can be smart and thoughtful and full of love. And I'm going to just be real with y'all. People suck. Yo, people suck. I suck sometimes. Like, they hurt you. Okay. People hurt you. People betray you. They talk about you. They break trust. They're selfish. Like, a lot of times people are just like, they're a teeter-totter. Okay. They go back and forth, and we have the potential to do good, and we have the potential to do bad. I actually once heard this statement, and it stuck with me ever since. Like, it's never left me. And please don't misunderstand this. I'm not pointing a finger at none of y'all. If y'all are listening, just let's not be offended, bro. We're all people. We all have the potential to be good. We all have the potential to be bad. But I once heard this statement, and it's never left me. One of the best things about doing ministry and serving God is the people. And one of the worst things about doing ministry and serving God is the people. Because people have the potential to be amazing and do amazing things when we walk in the fulfillment of God's will for us and for our lives. But we also hold the potential to be completely disgusting and hurtful to all those who are around us. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Again, you might not want to hear this, but maybe people ain't the problem. I'm going to say that again, y'all. Guys, maybe people aren't the problem. A lot of times we want to end up playing the devil's game and blame shifting and saying that people are the problem, when maybe the problem is us. Maybe it's us, guys. Maybe we're the problem. Maybe the source of our discouragement isn't coming from the environment that surrounds us. No, it's not coming from the environment that surrounds us sometimes, or the people in it, but it might be coming from the internal conflict within yourself that needs to be addressed and sorted out. Think about that again, please. Literally, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, because this is hard for me to hear sometimes. Like, when God gave me this, I am dealing with discouragement, and he's helping me to understand that I can't be pointing fingers out here. A lot of times I can't be doing what the devil does and blame shifting and trying to point my finger and say that it's their fault and saying that people are the problem and what they're doing to me is the problem. But the source of my discouragement isn't coming from the environment or the people in it, but it's actually coming from the internal conflict going on within myself, and the fact that I had this need or this desire to try to control outcomes or try to change people. Or maybe I'm just dealing with the fact that I had an expectation of somebody that I didn't even express of that person. And now they're not meeting my expectation, and they're letting me down. And the whole act of being let down is just causing me to be discouraged. I'm more than sure some of you guys can relate to being discouraged. And when it comes down to discouragement and dealing with discouragement, I truly believe that's why community is so important. Okay, we need to be surrounding ourselves with people who know us and people who we can depend upon to pull us aside and love and ask us, are you okay? Do you have those people who can literally just pull you aside and ask you, are you okay? The ones who can say, hey, I noticed something's off with you. Or I notice you're kind of short-tempered lately, or you've been going through it. Like I can see it, and not like in a blaming way. Like I said, do you have those people, or are you one of those people who have the ability to pull you aside in love and ask you, hey, are you okay? Like I've noticed you've been going through it. I've noticed that you've been stretched lately. I noticed that like you're doing a lot. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing these things, but are these things healthy for the season that you're in? Or are you doing too much? And maybe if you did a little less, you'd have a moment to take a breather and not get caught up in the madness of trying to manage the mess and manage people. Because a lot of times we really do, whether you're inside ministry or not, whether you believe in God or not, we a lot of times try to manage people and manage their emotions. And it causes us to slip into the trap of being a people pleaser, or slip into a cycle of just trying to control certain outcomes of situations. And then you get caught up and the blame gets put on you because you were meddling. And we're not here to meddle. We're not here to manage people. We're here to serve God and serve others. And sometimes one of the best ways that we could ever serve others is by addressing that internal conflict, the thing that's going on the inside of us, because people aren't the problem. People are not the problem. A lot of times what's going on the inside of us is the problem. And that's what God's trying to get us to realize, so that we can fix what's on the inside of us. So when we deal with people, or when we have to deal with people, we're able to do it in a godly way. We're able to do it with the character of Christ. We're able to do it with actual love, where we can be patient, where we can be kind. We can be long-suffering. We can show them grace and mercy where they need grace and mercy. And also, while in that process, we're able to relate to people who are going through the same types of conflicts inside of themselves. Even those who are younger than us, trying to figure out this whole thing called life and the people in it, we're able to give them wisdom and counsel beyond their years. Like, y'all know me, I'm in the real room. I love learning from people. So if there's a cheat code, or if there's a way that somebody can help me and can relate to me, so that I don't have to go through all the heartache, all the pain, and learn all the lessons in a hard way like they did, I'm gonna take that. I'm not saying I'm gonna take a fast route, but if it's out there, I'm gonna take it. But that's why I believe like community is so important, guys. We need to be able to have those people who are able to set us aside and help us and help call our fouls. Like, hey, bro, I'm noticing some things are off, and I want to help you. And we also need to be honest with ourselves and the people we trust around us to help us identify and discern the source of our discouragement, and then put a plan together to overcome it. Okay, so I'm not used to this whole little like, oh, I got 5 tricks or 7 tricks of doing this and you'll stop being discouraged. But no, I believe after doing some research and trying to seek counsel and learn how I can overcome my own discouragement, I found some ways to do that, and God's helped me to learn that these might not be like 5 tricks that you can do every single time you're discouraged, but He's helped me to realize that there needs to be a course of action when we are discouraged. Because if we don't have a course of action, we're just going to sit in a pit and we're going to lose all hope because there will be nothing that we can do about it. But in fact, I want to encourage you and empower each and every single one of you guys that there is something that we can do about discouragement. And I have a few ways that I can help you guys not only deal with, manage, but overcome discouragement. So some of the best ways that you can beat discouragement or overcome discouragement is just number one. Okay, you can turn to God. I'm just gonna come out and say it, yo. Whether you believe in God or not, if you do, yo, praise God. If you don't, hey, it's just a matter of time, man. I'm just saying, you'll go through things in life sooner or later. He'll get a hold of you. But I believe that some of these things, actually all of these things, could still help you. But I'm going to just come out and say it. We need God. I couldn't deal with people. I couldn't deal with myself. I couldn't deal with issues in life if it wasn't for God helping me. I believe in a large way that the discouragement comes from a lack of hope, and that causes you to become drained. And one of the only ways you could ever start to get better is by turning to God and turning to Him for the hope that He gives us, as well as an unmatchable rest and strength that only He can provide. So all you have to do is just turn to Him. You got to pray to Him. You gotta pray to Him, and you gotta ask Him about the things going on and what you're going through, because He knows. He knows what you're going through. He cares, and He doesn't want to take you away from it, or He doesn't want to take it away from you, but He wants to help you. He wants to partner with you so that through Him, you can receive the strength to overcome the discouragement that you're going through. Because when we partner with Him, He doesn't just want to take the things and all the, yes, He says, give me everything. Talk to me about everything. He gives us this opportunity to come before His throne and be like, God, I love you. I thank you. And I'm going through this. And I need your help with this. And I need this. And I wish, I want this to happen. I need your help, God. And He wants us to do that. And it's through partnering with Him. He's not going to take the thing or the situation from you, but He's going to help you go through it. And when He partners with you and He helps you go through the situation, He helps you learn lessons along the way that when you go through something like this again, or you see somebody else going through something like this again, you can go through it in a much more manageable way. You can do it standing instead of crawling. And then anybody else that you see go through the things that you've been through in your life, you're able to be the hands and feet of Jesus for that person and relate to them and help them go through life and that situation and help them to better manage and overcome discouragement. Another way is remembering victories. Okay. The Bible actually says that we are a forgetful people and we need to remember, or we need to be reminded of things. Our brains are actually kind of wired. It's really weird. Our brains are actually wired to have to not really remember the positive things, but always be looking for the negative things. And it's kind of like, yeah. So our brains are wired weird, and we have no problem remembering negative things, but it's hard for us to actually focus on the positive things. Like, think about that. How easy is it for you to remember the time that somebody hurt you, or the things that you've been through in your past? And it's almost like, in my opinion, due to sin, we were rewired to operate in discouragement. Like, our brains have the ability to do amazing things, sometimes beyond what we could ever think or imagine. And they're so weird that sometimes, like, we can focus on negative things and focus on the past, and we can feel those emotions. Like, when we think about something, it almost like we go back to that moment in life, and it rises up an emotion within us, and we're able to feel the way that we felt in those moments. And then we have this ability to imagine realities, like whole realities, and have whole conversations with people who we know. And that reality that we create in our head is so believable that we can become deceived and discouraged, as if what is in our brains is actually happening in reality. And it's not that way. And that's why I believe God tells us to change our minds and to focus on the positive things, and to remember his goodness and all the times he did not fail us. And in doing this, we can be assured that if he didn't fail us in the past, he has not, or that he didn't fail us in the past. And we can also be assured that he's not going to fail us, that he's not failing us right now, and that he won't fail us in the future. Okay? God is so good. He is so good, and he wants the best for all of us. We just have to choose it. And we can be assured that because of his character, because of who he is, if he hasn't failed us in the past, he isn't failing us now, and he will not fail us in the future, because God never changes. He is the same yesterday as he is today, as he will be tomorrow. Okay, God is so good, and he wants the best for you. And if you would put your trust in him, he can help you overcome the discouraging things that you are going through in life. And this can seem kind of cliche, but we kind of need to understand that our minds are battlefields. And since our mind is a battlefield, the devil fights us daily, because he knows the power of a thought. And God tells us to take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. You see, when we have the power to choose what our thoughts allow, when we have the power to control our thoughts, we have the power to choose what thought takes root in our minds. And we get to choose. Okay, let's do this concept. Okay. So God wants us to change our mind. He wants us to think on the positive things. He wants us to understand that we need to take all of our thoughts captive and hold them to the obedience to Christ. And what that simply means is that we need to think about good things, not bad things. We need to focus on good things, not bad things. Now, that's not saying just be passive and ignore all the bad things and don't ever handle a bad situation. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying with your own mind, when it comes to your own mind, God knows the power of a thought, and the devil knows the power of a thought. And your mind can become a battlefield because you have the power to either choose to think on positive things or think on negative things. And whatever thoughts you think on and focus on and dwell on, the longer you think on those thoughts, they take root. Whichever thoughts that you think on, they will take root and they will become trees that produce fruit. So if I want to start a business, I just have the thought, hey, I want to start a business. And you start thinking on that. You are creating this whole thing in your brain that you can act out physically. It is taking root in your brain. It is becoming a spot, a tree in your brain that will produce fruit. And the fruit of that tree will determine, or has the ability to determine, outcomes physically. Okay, and the devil knows this, and that's why he wants you to think negatively about yourself, about others, about your current situation, all the things that you're going through in life. He wants you to think negatively about those things so that he can have you in this cycle of discouragement. Because if he can keep you immobilized, if he can keep you stagnant, if he can keep you still, not in a good way, and keep you looking at everybody as they're the enemy and having, just keeping yourself discouraged, if he can keep you in this prison of discouragement, he's got you defeated. And God doesn't want that for you. We have victory in God. And one of the victories he gives us is over the devil and over the sinful nature that we have. And we have control over our minds and control over the thoughts that we have. And God wants us to remember that we need to take our thoughts captive and think on positive things. And it can kind of be cliche where it's just like, hey, yo, bro, think more positively. But if you start doing that, you lessen the chance of sinking into or falling into a cycle of negativity and discouragement. Another important thing is choosing your company. Guys, we got to be careful. Okay. We got to be careful who we hang out with. Like a lot of things socially, like we got to be careful who we hang out with. If I could say it this way, a lot of times we can hang out with somebody and it could be the wrong person. And social discouragement is like a virus, and it can spread easily from person to person. That's why I believe that God tells us to guard our hearts, because out of it flows the issues of life. Now, I definitely understand that sometimes you can't always choose who you can be around. And that's mostly due to maybe the circumstances of life, whether that be your job or your family or church and this and that. Like I get it. It ranges. But I think that we need to find a balance socially where you can spend time with the people who help you and encourage you, and they will help you become recharged, or they'll help recharge your batteries after you more or less become drained from people who are a little bit, they're just going through things in life. Like I would say, I got my people who I know that I can go to when I'm going through it, or I've dealt with people who are draining or just, you know what I mean? Like we're all going through things in life, and I'm not saying anybody's the enemy, guys. That's not what I'm saying, but we're all going through things in life. And say I go to have coffee with somebody and they're going through life and you're just pouring yourself out, you're pouring your wisdom out, you're pouring help, positive things out, and you want the best for this person, well, that can leave you drained. There wasn't necessarily anything wrong with that person, but you can pour yourself out in such a way that you need to have a balance, and on the other side of that balance should be people that you can go to be refilled and recharged, so that you can help more people and you can serve more people, uh, and be there for the people who are going through things in life. Now, that is not saying, okay, all right, so that is a good servitude. Now, I'm just saying that sometimes people can be toxic. People can be toxic. They're there to use you. They're there to take all that you have to pour out, and they don't leave you with anything good. Now, that I will tell you, be weary, be in prayer. Ask God who you need to be around, and He will remove those who are not good for you. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. But choose your company, yo. Choose your company wisely and make sure that there's a balance, because we can't sit here and just avoid people. We can't avoid people. Okay, we're here to serve God and we're here to serve people. And sometimes you have to be around people who need you, and that will cause you to have to pour out and help them and be the hands and feet of Jesus. And sometimes you got to be the ear of Jesus. Don't come at me. I know that's not in the Bible, but I'm just saying sometimes God sent you to a person to listen to him, and He wants you to serve them that way. And however God's having you serve someone, just make sure that you are in prayer about it. Make sure that you're being wise, and make sure that you are surrounding yourself with good company who can pour into you and recharge your batteries after you become drained. All right. And then the next thing, guys, would be like, this is like one of my favorites. You got to hit that reset button, yo. Hit that reset button in your life or at your home. Sometimes a cloudy mind can be due to your environment. And one of the easiest ways I overcome discouragement or some of the negative things that I go through in life is by cleaning around the house. It can be that simple. Cleaning around the house, organizing the clutter. Yes, it may not always be the cleanest, but I truly believe that everything has a place in life. There is something to organization to where it's like I put something somewhere and I know where it's at, that helps me to deal with anxiety, that helps me to deal with focus, that helps me to deal with like being focused. But just, I believe that sometimes we are so cloudy up here because the environment around us is just full of clutter. And when we have a clean environment, it helps to have a clean mind. And I also truly believe that cleaning is therapeutic. Who'da thunk it? Like 100%. I love cleaning. Like, yeah, I don't like how it's physically demanding. I don't like how we got to do it all the time because life gets messy and we start getting lazy and letting stuff go. But like, cleaning can be therapeutic, and I like cleaning. Cleaning's fun. It helps me to stay focused, and it's like a healthy distraction, or like it gives me something to do with my hands, and it doesn't take a lot of mental energy, so that I can kind of get into this rhythm or this flow to where it helps me to think correctly. And I believe in those moments, God speaks to me, whether it's cleaning, whether it's doing yard work, like mowing the lawn. Like, that mower gets loud, but God's louder. he'll give me a thought while I'm mowing the lawn, or he'll give me a sermon while I'm mowing the lawn. I'm like, yo, God, what are you doing? And it's really great. It's really great. I really love it. So yeah, hit the reset button, hit the reset button in life. Look around your house and be like, yo, if I don't like what's going on around me, maybe I can change change what I have the ability to change. And then one of the last ones, this is probably realistically, this is probably my favorite. Because yeah, it's just funny, encourage someone else. And I know before you come at my throat, like, John, I'm going through it. I'm discouraged. I wish somebody would encourage me. Well, sometimes you can be so caught up in your discouragement that you can't even see the help right in front of you. I'm going to just say it that way. Sometimes in life, we can be so discouraged that we can't even see, or we don't want to accept the help or the encouragement that's right in front of us. And it's this weird paradox. It's actually kind of funny, but the moment that we try to help someone else, it's like, I swear, when I'm discouraged, God will place somebody in front of me who is just going through it. Like their whole life is falling apart. And the simple act of serving them by listening to them, as well as by being there for them, will allow you to possibly give them a few words of encouragement that will not only make the world of a difference in that person's life, but I've also found that in that act, you actually become encouraged. And sometimes you end up hearing the very advice that you needed to hear come right out of your own mouth. It's so funny. Like, I've had so many times in my life where I'll just be going through something, and then as a distraction tactic, I will indulge in what somebody else is doing. Like, hey, how are you doing in life? What's going on? Oh, that sucks. You're going through it. Like, man, whoa. And then you'll just listen to them. And then you'll just serve them by being there. Whether it's a shoulder to cry on, whether it's an ear for listening, no matter what it is, you'll just be there for them. Be present in the moment. And then God does something in that moment where you're serving somebody else. He actually serves you. And you get to witness. You not only get to be like the hands and feet of Jesus in that moment, give somebody a hug, help them through their life struggles, but you also get to receive by giving. And it's like that spiritual interaction that happens so fast and so subtly that when you end up giving this person advice, you end up getting a little chuckle either during or afterwards, where it's like, yo, that's what I needed to hear. And if you're willing to be in that moment and be humble and receive your own advice, you might just be in a moment where your discouragement goes away and you get to overcome your discouragement. It's so weird. It's so weird, but I've had it a few times in my life. Like, I won't even say like so many times, but I've had it quite a few times in my life where helping somebody else actually ended up helping me. And I love it. I love the way God works. He works in mysterious ways. It's amazing. So listen, guys, discouragement is dangerous. And I do believe that it can stem from a lot of external and internal places. And we need to identify where it's coming from so that we can overcome it. But it also comes from one place for certain, and that is from the enemy. And this is the devil himself. It's the enemy of your soul. The devil will send attacks your way to try and discourage you in a lot of different ways, because his objective is to steal your hope and to steal your joy. And this is why depending on God and staying prayed up and in your Bible is so vital for the disciple of Jesus. Because if you're trying to do the will of God on this earth, then all the forces of hell are going to be coming your way to try to discourage you and try to stop you from doing God's will. I'm going to just be real with y'all. Okay, we just had a long talk about discouragement. Okay, we have to identify where it's coming from. And sometimes when we get down, like when we actually do that, if you have spiritual eyes and spiritual ears and you're able to see and hear, you'll come to find out that sometimes has nothing to do with external or internal circumstances, but it's actually an attack from the enemy. And they're trying to discourage you and stop you from doing what you're doing, whether it's kids ministry, whether it's teen ministry, whether you're the lead pastor of a church, whether you're leading a life group, no matter what it is, no matter where you're at in the kingdom. You could be a door greeter, and he's trying to get you to not smile at people. No matter what it is, if you're living for God and you're a disciple of Jesus and you're in the kingdom, you're going to have attacks, and those attacks are going to be sent to discourage you. They're going to be sent to harm you emotionally, mentally. And that's why we have to depend on God. That's why that number one thing is so important. We have to depend on God. We have to stay prayed up. We have to stay in our Bibles, because the enemy of our soul is trying to get us discouraged so that he can take us out. And even though he's trying to take us out, can I just say it? But God, okay? But God. We can be assured that it's not by our might or our power that we have the victory. Okay? It's not by our might nor our power that we have the victory. These battles of discouragement, okay, we have the victory over these battles of discouragement. Okay? I'm going to just say it this way. It's not by might nor by power that we have the victories over these battles of discouragement, but it's by the Spirit of the living God that we have victory because of what Jesus did on the cross. He gave us the ability to have victory. He gave us the ability to overcome discouragement. And no matter where you're at in life, no matter what situation you're going through in life, okay, God's there for you. And you might not feel like you have the ability to do it. You might not feel like you have the power to do it, but it's not by your might or your power, but it's by his Spirit. And he wants to partner with you so that you can see victory in your life and in that discouraging situation. So guys, let's do a little real recap. I'd like to make that a thing. But when we are discouraged, we need to identify the source of our discouragement. We need to turn to God, and we need to pray and read our Bibles. We need to change our minds and think positively. Okay? We need to choose who we are going to be around in those seasons. Okay? We also need to hit the reset button and change what we can change about our lives and about our current situations. And we need to give and receive the support of our community so that we can remember that we are not alone in this and that there is hope while battling discouragement. Yo, that was good. Give y'all a little horn right there. Yo, listen, guys, I love y'all. And I don't know what it was. This might be a whole different vibe. Some people might not even like it. But like I said, like if y'all been rocking with us for a minute, y'all already know we're here to relate, educate, be authentic, and loving. So that second one's education. Like when God gives me something he wants me to talk about, I want to talk about it. And it's because I believe somebody out there is dealing with the same things that I'm dealing with. Like I've come to learn that I go through things for not only myself to learn and to grow, but I go through these things because other people are going through them. Like it's a weird thing, but it's like we're all living the same life in different ways. And when I go through discouragement, I can be encouraged in a way because I know that I'm learning something not only for myself, but I'm learning it for somebody else. And it's just a matter of time before I can teach that to somebody else. So on this platform, we will be talking about certain topics like discouragement, like life, like not just discouragement, just like whatever we go through in life, guys. We're here to help each other. We're here to encourage each other, motivate each other, and teach each other the cheat codes of life. Like, hey, I learned this in this season of my life, and I wanna teach you what I did while I was in that season to help me overcome it, or how I experienced God's grace or His mercy or His wisdom, like how I experienced God in the season of life that I was in. And I'm hoping that through sharing that, somebody else can learn and be encouraged and motivated and experience God and not only the same way, but a different way that's personalized for them and their lives. So yeah, we're going to be talking about things like just things that we go through in life. And today was about discouragement. I pray in the name of Jesus that it touched somebody, that it resonated with somebody, that somebody could relate to it. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. I thank you all for stepping in the real room today and getting real with me. It is one of my favorite times of the week, and I can't wait till next week. I really can't wait till next week. I'm praying, guys, be praying for me. Be praying for my throat because I don't ever want to stop doing this, or I want to be able to have the ability to come in here and not sound like a sick boy on this microphone. But yeah, guys, I really enjoyed today, and I pray that somebody can be encouraged in some way that helps them to get out of their cycle of discouragement. Remember, you have power in Jesus, and He can help you, and He wants to help you if you would give Him a chance. And then also a couple of those other things that we talked about. Try them out in your life. Try to put them into motion and let me know how they worked out. Let me know where you're at in life, what you're going through, and if these things helped you in any way. But yeah, guys, that's today's episode. That's all the time we got for today. I can't wait to see you guys next week. So same time next week, Monday, 12 p.m. I will see you here in the real room. So until then, keep it real.